Hello everyone, I'm John Eggins. This is PNG Tonight. Coming up, Bank of South Pacific comes good with assistance for small to medium enterprises in Papua New Guinea. The story of how a disabled person in remote area builds courage to help others. And Taekwondo, a sport not as popular, but has won medals for Papua New Guinea. We look at our preparations for the Olympics in August. Leading bank here and in the region, BSP, says small to medium enterprises will take off in a big way in Papua New Guinea. And to help it along, the smart business section of the bank has stretched out to remote areas to assist. To find out more, I talked to the manager of BSP's retail SMEs, Dennis Konu. Thank you, Dennis, for coming on to the program on PNG Tonight.
Thank you.
Okay.
Pleased to be here.
All right. BSP, of which you are a part of, you are the retail SMEs manager, a big bank in Papua New Guinea, a big bank in the region, and you're helping the government in a lot of ways, particularly with its SMEs. And tonight, there's a launch of a SME policy master plan. You're helping that. Tell us about your assistance to the government, to the people of Papua New Guinea.
Okay. Once again, John, thanks for coming on, allowing me to come on tonight. Basically, what we have in BSP is a brand name called Smart Business, which has been specifically designed and developed for small entrepreneurs in PNG, and these are your basic sole traders, partnerships, small companies that are run by, small businesses, family units, and the like, where they've had issues previously to access banking services, particularly credit facilities or loans. So we developed the smart business model 3 years ago, which we've deployed. So that basically allows small businesses to have access to loan facilities, bank accounts, SPOS terminals, and internet banking, which are, as we know, these are essential sort of tools that a business needs to grow and to operate. And
I want to start one. How do I start? You tell me, how do I go about it with you?
Well, basically, for a person that's interested or an entrepreneur that wants to start a small business, I think the first step is outside the bank.
Okay.
You've got to get registered. So you've got to get registered either with the IPA or with obtain a trading license from your local level government authority. So once you get the appropriate licenses, you can come into BSP and with proper identification, and then you can establish a bank account.
But do I have to have an asset base to prove myself to, or
to open a bank account? You don't really need an asset base.
But to get a loan or to get your assistance.
Yes, to get the assistance from BSP, you need to be at least operating for 12 months.
Okay.
So you've got to show evidence that you are actually trading and that you're actually engaging in a commercial activity. So we don't, for the loan product, we don't finance what we call startups.
Okay.
We finance businesses that are already operating. So, and the reason we do that is that we want to see track record.
Okay.
So we want to understand that, yes, there is a business operating, and yes, they are engaged in commercial activity, and yes, they are making money as such, because obviously if we give a loan, we want to recoup that loan.
Sure. That's with the banks, that's your business, I suppose.
Yeah,
but how many people in Papua New Guinea, how many people are taking up what you're offering? Okay,
so the number of account holders that we have, small business account holders that we have in Smart Business is it's totaling, the vicinity of 15,000. 15,000. Growing. It's we started in 2013 with basically zero, and that's grown to 15,000. So, and in terms of lending, what we currently have on our books are about 800 odd loan customers. Last year we lent out approximately 37 million kina in funding to small business operators.
Okay.
And these businesses are, they're not just based in Moresby and Lane in the major centers. They're actually spread out around the country. We use our branch network. As you know, BSP's got a branch in every province, and We've got a number of sub-branches in rural areas where we have a lot of our small smart business customers domiciled.
You've got
to
little
those
agents
branches.
in trade stores as well.
Yes,
too, I think.
trade stores and agents are part of the smart business model as well. They are actually entrepreneurs that have engaged with the bank to become agents of BSP, and some of those are actually our smart business customers as well. We've given them a bank account, we've given them a loan, and they've also got FPOS, which they use to to do the transactions, and they're very much part of our ecosystem. So we in rural areas we want to create banking ecosystems, and a lot of those ecosystems are driven by small businesses. So and I guess small businesses are very important for our business in BSP, and it's
for the country.
Yes, in the country they're essential because they provide the employment that's needed. They provide employment, and they provide services where government cannot sort of reach.
Oh, that's right.
But they're very important because they're the engine room of the economy.
Absolutely. Even in developed countries, there are SMEs all over the world. It's
All over the
so
world.
vital.
Yes, they're vital, and I think I was looking at some material from APEC, and what they classify 90% of the businesses in the APEC region are MSMEs.
Yeah.
So and they're very important to the economies of those bigger nations, and we're in PNG we're no different, and I guess it'd be totally different if we didn't have any small businesses in PNG.
Is BSP the only bank in that? Are you cooperating with other banks?
Well, I guess what we have with our model, it's what we have in BSP. I guess in terms of the other commercial operations that exist in PNG, they do have business models that are targeted to small businesses as well. And we also have the microfinance entities such as PML and the other microfinances that do offer loans to small businesses as well. What we think we have in BSP is a model that's suited to the capacity of small businesses. Sure. There's a lot of businesses that apply for loans are faced with some stringent requirements for various reasons. What we've done in BSP is remodeled our requirements to suit the capacity of those small businesses. Hence, we've got that model, and we've been able to lend out to these entrepreneurs.
Okay. Tonight, the minister responsible for SMEs, I suppose, launching a policy, a master plan on SMEs. BSP is assisting with some money, and not only that, but has been helping the government in a lot of other fronts.
Yeah, I guess we've done that. BSP has sponsored the SME summit that was held in Medang a few years ago, and we also sponsored the SME Youth Summit that was held in Port Moresby last year. And with the launching of the SME policy and master plan, we've also made a sponsorship that was presented to the minister earlier this week. And I guess the reason we do that is that BSP as being a part of PNG, and very much a local
big one at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We recognize that this is a very important sector, and it needs support from both the government and from financial institutions as well. And I think that it is appropriate that the bank did offer this sponsorship.
Is it the bank that's taking up its own initiative to get involved in this, or are you getting some sort of a little tickle on the side from government to say, hey, come in here and help us with this?
I think the bank is using its own initiative to get into lending to small businesses. I guess we've always done that. All banks have lent to small businesses. What BSP done is also recognize that a part of the small business segment of market has had issues in terms of accessing credit, and those sort of, when I say credit, I mean loans, accessing loan facilities. So what we've done is looked at re-engineering our own process so we can offer the same services that we offer bigger sort of corporate clients and business customers, the same services to the small entrepreneurs that we see every day in PNG. Your local trade stores, PMV operators, you know, the guys that are providing transport for farmers from their village to town, and those sort of businesses, as well as, you know, our local professionals that we have, your local accountants, doctors, lawyers. So, you know, giving them the opportunity to also access credit, you know, in a responsible way. And I guess if you look at the whole market, that's about 70% of the business in PNG is driven by this part of the market, and it's a market that we recognize as growing, and, you know, we really want to be part of that. And, you know, and I think it's part of
I think you're involved in it in a big way. Banks normally, and we're running out of questions, just one question, one final one. Banks normally do their researches and do searches on people and countries, on economies, on finances of economies. You obviously are doing that about Papua New Guinea. Are we right as a country? And going forward, and are you going to continue to do what you're doing, but on a much larger scale, given the pace of development or how the country is moving?
Yeah, I think certainly, I think overall small businesses do face challenges, and, you know, and a lot of those challenges I think are manageable. You know, things with infrastructure and the like, and, you know, having access to cheap services, power, water, and that, you know, these are things that would greatly assist small businesses. But I think that in PNG we have you know, the entrepreneurial spirit is quite strong, and, you know, people want to do this. Even people in paid employment want to go out and venture into their own business. So I think that you know, it's something that we encourage, and, you know, we should be encouraging as a nation, and we should be fostering. And, you know, there's, I guess with entrepreneurs as well, there's a skills capacity as well that we need to be filling gaps. You know, people have to learn the basics about how to manage and run a business. You know, they've got to understand how to keep books, how to keep proper records, how to spend, and what to spend on, and those sort of things. Even if it's you know, it may seem simple, but it goes a long way to have that financial discipline to manage, you know, a business. And it's something that, you know, overall that's what we should be encouraging. You know, from our education system up. And I guess if we get these things right.
I think Papua New Guineans are gradually embracing this and going forward with it. I mean, they're ingenious people in a lot of ways.
Quite,
I think,
they are, and we are. I guess we are very ingenious, and, you know, it's some of the stories that our customers tell us. You know, it's quite inspirational. I guess, you know, people that are, you know, who may have had limited education have been able to, you know, run a business that, you know, and, you know, hear these great stories, and particularly with our customer base when we go up to places like, you know, like Mendi and that, where we see a lot of success stories, and, you know, it's really good
millionaires in the bush.
Exactly, and you know, and
all right. Look, Dennis, we are running out of time, but look, thank you very much for coming onto the program and sharing with us the bank services and your ideas.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Dennis Kono, the Retail SMEs Manager of BSP. After the break, an inspiring story about assistance from someone who needs it most himself.